Well, I've had a few questions regarding how does a little Lithgow LA101 in 22 Magnum, 22WMR, how does it shoot? What ammo does it like? Well, I thought instead of answering every individual question, I thought I'd just do a video actually testing the ammunition. I've got about a dozen or so brands, weights and whatever to test here today. I've got a target at 50 yards, so I'm going to try and keep this pretty simple. I'm not going to show you every shot fired, but after every 5-shot group I'll go down, take a photo of the target, write on the target what ammunition that was, and we'll see what it likes. I'm going to be using little 4-16 by 44 Vixen scope on it for testing, but I have got a little Maven RS2 2-10 by 38 that I might actually be using on this rifle in the hunting situation, and every now and then you'll see the PARD NV008 night vision go on this with the quick release mount that I've made up. So anyway, let's not muck around, let's get in it and start firing groups. I'm not going to tell you what's the best ammo for you, but I will put up all the pictures of the groups that were shot today at 50 yards with this little rifle, the little Lithgow LA101 in the 22 Magnum. Now the only thing that's been altered on this rifle is the trigger spring, changing the trigger weight from 3 pound down to about 1.5 pounds. And for me, that has really improved this little rifle. Now, what didn't it like though? It definitely didn't like these 45 grain Cellular and Ballet. I don't even think they're available anymore anyway. And it definitely didn't like the Winchester power points in the 40 grain. They were probably the worst groups. Subsonics, as you would expect, point of impact was a lot lower, probably 3.5-4 inches lower than on the average of the other rounds. But it still grouped quite well. 45 grain subsonics, if you've got to use them, you're just going to have to sight your rifle accordingly. Now, in the lighter pills, the 30 grain Hornady VMAX, I already knew they shot well, and in all fairness, my first group with these was probably my worst group. And when I actually moved on and put the little Maven on and tested them and sighted this in, it actually shot what I'd expect, well under 1/2 inch. So they are always good and readily available, or they were readily available. The Remington Premier AccuTips in the 33 grain shot extremely well, and I hadn't shot them until today. Projectiles in the heavier weight, the 45 grain, this critical defense stuff, I've had heaps of guys tell me how good it is on targets, live targets. Knockdown power has been extremely good, and it actually did shoot quite well. I do think it's a little bit hard to get though at the moment in Australia. 45 grain, Hornady critical defense, definitely worth looking at. But this, to me, was actually the last ammunition that I bought, the Federal 50 grain jacketed hollow point. This to me is going to be probably something I'm really keen to test on the bigger targets like foxes, wild dogs, and it shot extremely well, almost a one-hole group. I think I shanked one of them, but this definitely worth looking at, and I'm very keen to see how it performs downrange. I hope this helped. Like I said, you just have to make a judgment on what you can get, what your targets are, and what your shooting style and skills are. So anyway, until next time.